Thailand Development Research Institute, Risk of Policy Research Institute, Content University, and Pacific Trade and Development Conference. Dr. Romchai was formerly an insurance commissioner and chairman of the Export and Import Bank of Thailand. In the private sector, he is presently the chairman of FFC Asset Management. Please welcome Dr. Romchai.
Thank you. Dr. Suchat, I was hoping to allow me to speak. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Very happy to be here, always. In fact, I come to Khon Kaen very often. I'm pleased to hear how happy Ambassador Napoleon was when he first arrived. How long have you been away from Khon Kaen? This is how many years?
Over 10 years.
Over 10 years. So you see what's happened. In fact, I have my passport done in Khon Kaen. So you can see, Khon Kaen and Bangkok, no longer different. I have been asked to talk about this development in the Mekong River countries and Korea. Okay. Maybe this will answer why Korea, Ambassador Lim Jae-hong said earlier. But in fact, many answers have already been given by Ambassador Noppathong. So I may be repeating many things that he said. As Dr. Suchat introduced myself, I do many things in life. In fact, I do too many things in life. But one thing I do all the time, over the last 40 years, is about economic development policy. This I have done for over the last 40 years. So I consider myself a development economist. When I have to fill in the profession or career in immigration form, I always say development economist. Some immigration officials ask me, what does that mean? But I could never answer. In any case, being a development economist, one thing we have to do is to always look for economic development model. How to develop economy, what lessons to be learned from other countries. And this is the answer to your question, Ambassador, why Korea? I have visited Korea or Republic of Korea. I will refer to this alternately, ROK or Korea, since early 1970s. My first visit was 1974 actually. And many of those visits, I visited the Korea Development Institute at the time when Dr. Kim Man-jae was the director. Some of you know Dr. Kim Man-jae. And I was so impressed that I wanted to see something like that in Thailand. Later on, we established Thailand Development Research Institute, modeling after KDI. I could go on and on about these things. Over these years, I have worked with many interesting Korean personalities in international economic cooperation, including, I will just mention a few names, otherwise it will take the whole morning. Dr. Han Sang-ju, I'm sure Ambassador will know that. Dr. Yang Soo-kil, in fact, he was my classmate at Johns Hopkins. Dr. Kim Ki-wan, Dr. Yu Sakong, Dr. Nam Tak Woo, etc., etc. In Thailand, when we run out of things to say, we say, etc., etc. We copy from the King and King Rama IV. Did not know what next to say to Anna. Many of these gentlemen have become my close friends, my family friends. I must say I'm proud of my Korean connection. I'm happy to know Korea. I'm happy to see Korea rising to the level of international prominence. We have Mr. Ban Ki-moon and the UN Secretary General. we will soon have a new president of the World Bank being a Korean American. I don't know whether you want to claim in Korean or they want to claim in American. And I do not need to mention many prominent international golfers being Korean. In fact, somebody said that this LPGA should be changed to Korean LPGA because there are so many Koreans representing the group. Now, on economic development policy, I saw rapid progress in Korea due to the Republic of Korea's export-oriented development strategy adopted in the 1960s. There's a book about it. There are many books about it. This ROK's export-oriented model was adopted by Thailand, in fact by my team at the time, when we were working on a fifth plan. That was in the early 1980s. We went to Korea to do this. This began the process of modern industrialization in Thailand. We looked at Japan, Korea, Taiwan, and we built this eastern seaboard. We built the industrial base for Thailand. The model is not identical, of course, in the role of cooperation groups known as chaebol in the Republic of Korea. We do not have chaebol. We thought at the time whether we should have, but for Thai culture, chaebol would not work. So we did not have the chaebol concept. Since the 1980s, ROK and Thailand have come a long way, with ROK being ahead of Thailand economically. The Republic of Korea is in OECD. The Republic of Korea is in G20. In fact, OECD, the first ambassador was my friend, Dr. Yang Soo-kil. Ahead of Thailand. But which people are happier? I don't know. Because every time I talk to my friends in Korea, they always say that, but your people are happier. That I don't know. Up to you to judge. But when we saw the Songkran festival, Ambassador Kim mentioned Songkran, I was amazed how people in Thailand were so happy. I don't know why. I don't know why they're so happy. In any case, there's a strong linkage between business and people of ROK and Thailand. ROK is popular in Thailand. K-pop is popular in Thailand. Even Korean bonds, kimchi bonds, are popular in Thailand. You might not realize, in the year 2010, we had Korean bonds at more than 13 billion US dollar. 13 billion US dollar. And we are considered to be a poor country. But using 13 billion of our saving to buy Korean bonds. I am chairman of one asset management company, one of the best-selling products we issued at the time was Korean bonds. Most of them were bought by women, my housewives. I asked them why, they said because they like K-pop. So how do they connect that? From Korean pop, music, Korean movies, television star, the girl pop, and then Korean bond. So I can say that Korea is very popular in Thailand, and I hope the reverse is true about Thailand. I have to ask our Korean friends here. Now, even this new development strategy that we are adopting, apart from this export-oriented development strategy we adopted earlier, but this creative economy, we also look to Korea. How they could connect culture with commerce. How they could make people go to see the site of the movie scenes and taking pictures. Green economy, Ambassador Nopodon talked about it. How could they have done this? How they could eliminate an expressway and made that into a river? We made river into expressway. So with this background, I'm very pleased that ROK has expressed interest in working with and helping the Mekong River countries. As you know, economic development of the CLMV in these Mekong River countries with market economy approach only started in the 1980s and 1990s. Thailand started earlier, CLMV started after Thailand. The Vietnam War ended in 1975. Remember April 1975 when people ran away, to the American embassy trying to get on the helicopter. That was the end of the Vietnam War. And the new policy, the Myanmar policy began in the 1980s. Laos, PDR, and Cambodia introduced market economic policy in the 1990s. Myanmar wanted to open up the economy earlier, but political and security concerns delayed the real opening of Myanmar until now. So now we can say that the CLMV plus Thailand, we can call the MRC, or the Mekong River countries, forming the complete economic part of the mainland ASEAN. These countries are ready for development and prosperity. For Thailand, MRCs are strategic countries for our development. In the next decade, we plan to grow together with the MRCs in our 11th development plan. We think of MRC as being an economic base, making each of us more capable of meeting the new economic challenges. And we believe the same thought is with other MRC countries. Combined together, we have natural resources, the workforce, and modern know-how. So we think of it as a sub-region, GMS area, major economic base, ASEAN being a bigger region, forming place where we could have better allocation of resources, and ASEAN plus, being international connection for economic security and resiliency. Now, we believe better connectivity, particularly across the Mekong River, and with the economic corridor concept, will enhance trade and investment among the MRCs and hence better economic development for all. This belief, Thailand helped build the third Thai-Lao Bridge, which was opened on day 11, month 11, year 2011, at 11 minutes past 11 o'clock. Why? Because that is known as the Armistice Day, the day that symbolizes end of all conflicts. Remember the First World War? Remember Woodrow Wilson? Remember the signing of the treaty ending the war? And the war ended on 11th month of the year 1918 at 11 o'clock, the so-called 11-hour concept. Now we think that this would be the bridge over the mighty river, not the bridge over the troubled waters, as Simon Garfunkel would like us to think. I don't know, some of you remember the song by Simon Garfunkel in The Graduate. This is the third bridge. The first one was built with the assistance from Australia, Prime Minister Bob Hawke. But at the initiative of Thai Prime Minister, when Bob Hawke was visiting Bangkok in 1991, we had a Prime Minister who was so opportunistic by the name Chat Chai. Prime Minister Bob Hawke asked Chat Chai, what would you like Australia to do for you? He said, build a bridge. Bob Hawke said yes. Just like that. You know, when he went back to Canberra, he had problem getting the budget. But Pop Hoppy would do that. The second one was built with the assistance from Japan. Third by Thailand. Fourth also by Thailand, starting now. So maybe Korea would like to sponsor the fifth one. See, I think they all agree.
Yes, I propose to my government.
You know, bridge over the mighty river. We can call it bridges over the mighty river. Now, with all this connection, as Ambassador Nopodon mentioned earlier, activities along the corridors and beyond are growing. Maybe not rapidly enough, but growing. With a more open Myanmar for trade and investment, these commercial activities will grow even faster. You know, I am one person who is so happy about this opening of Myanmar. I started working in Myanmar many years ago. And Thailand, we helped build the big airport in Myanmar. We had in Mandalay, of course, we had assistance program for Myanmar for many years, but things were a bit slow in opening. But then now, from 2010, 2011, 2012, the opening of Myanmar is very satisfactory for us. Really very fast. I talked to my friend the other day who owned a hotel there, Chatriam. He had that hotel for almost 20 years. He told me the family lost every year until now. Now fully booked for the next 50 years. So this is very encouraging. You know, I monitor the development by watching how the generals would accommodate the lady. First, somehow the lady was not accommodated, but then the lady was accommodated. The lady wanted to run in the election, the generals allowed her and her party. The lady wanted to campaign here and there, the generals allowed her. The lady suddenly did not want to go into parliament. That Craig and I, we discussed, oh my God, what is next? And suddenly, we heard the lady started to accommodate the generals. This is just like Thailand, you know, our lady accommodates the generals very well. So, you know, if you don't want to have problems in Thailand and in Myanmar, you have to ask the lady to accommodate the generals, and the generals accommodate the lady. That would be political solution. Now, with this connectivity by the bridges and so on, we can go across the border, even beyond border. I'd like to show, if you have a picture of the map, you know, please put it on. The one that I mentioned, Myanmar, is because this is the most important part of the so-called physical connectivity. And the picture that you see, I think you have seen many pictures like this in other presentations. The concept of the economic corridor, the south-south, north-south, east-west, and so on. But with the opening of Myanmar, this is a real reality. And you can see on the right-hand side of the map, the fact that Myanmar allowed a Thai corporation to develop the area in Tawai. It's going to be the most important connection in the so-called economic corridor concept for Thailand and for us in the region. With that Tawai connection, we could connect the Eastern Seaboard development to Myanmar. And with that Tawai connection, we could link, in fact, Pacific Ocean with the Indian Ocean, an alternative route, in addition to the ones that we have going through Malacca Strait or through Indonesia. So this is something that we very much would like to see rapid development. And for this, at least for this reason, I very much welcome the interest of ROK in helping us improve the situation further. The development of these economic corridors and beyond require better logistics, good investment, and efficient business operation. ROK is well known to be very capable and competitive in those areas. But for us, growth is only one aspect of our economic development. We are also concerned with sustainability and security of our development. In fact, at one of our meetings, I think it was in Yunnan or somewhere, or here, we identified the priorities and challenges to be inclusive growth, business-oriented development, environment-friendly, and we must go along with the development of China and EAEC 2015. This general concept of development strategy is very much in the development plans of our countries. In fact, the one for Lao PDR I like the most. It's the easiest to understand. The one in Thailand, you know, I wrote that one with my friend. A bit too complicated. Lao PDR is very simple. Security before wealth, culture-based economic development, and environment friendly. Is that correct? My interpretation today? Is that correct? He's now my relative, you know, my nephew married his niece. Another connectivity. Now, to meet these challenges, we need to do many things, including or particularly human resource development. See, connectivity doesn't mean anything unless we are connected. Connectivity doesn't imply automatically that we are connected. We are connected only when people are connected. The software infrastructure, as Ambassador Dr. mentioned. So this is the human resource aspect that us, Macro Institute, is most interested in and spending most of the time working on. We believe Macro Institute and institutions in ROK can cooperate in the human resource development part of these activities. In our brochure, may I do some commercial here? We have been in operation for 15 years. Started with New Zealand and Thailand governments earlier on. Then later on, owned by the GFS countries. We followed this regionalism, but open regionalism, meaning that we are close together, but we are friendly to the others, with the others. So on this human resource aspect, we would like to design a program of activities with ROK. That's why we are organizing this seminar. This is with the involvement of a lot of stakeholders identified earlier. This is a bottom-up approach involving stakeholders from the working level up to the top level. I believe this project will contribute towards the development of the MRCs for the next decade. And I look forward to the outcome of this workshop seminar with the identification of projects and activities, including another fifth bridge that we can work on together. Thank you very much.
Okay. Anybody want to ask for clarification at the moment, or